Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Who would have ever thought that cars could be very political? At least the nature of them right now. Washington is citing a potential national security risk that the Biden administration is investigating Chinese-made smart cars that gather sensitive information about the Americans driving them. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, smart car, like what sensitive information are you getting? How fast I drive? Where I go? I mean, I guess
like this guy doesn't turn his blinker on?
Yeah.
Crazy human being.
I guess that matters a little bit. Basically, though, this probe could lead to new regulations aimed at preventing China from using sophisticated technology in electric cars and other things in connected cars that can track the drivers and their personal information. And so they're really concerned about this. And also, too, that China wants to be like the biggest car maker in the world. And so, they've done a good job, unfortunately, and they sell things for less. And so there's a trade disparity, and I know that there's part of that is trying to protect the American auto industry, but we're outpricing things, because of inflation, and then you do all these raises, and before you know it, all of that goes to the consumer. So if you've got a Toyota or a Ford, and to you they're going to be basically the same, but one is $9,000 less, what are you going to pick?
Right.
You're gonna vote with your wallet,
Right. Yeah.
And you'll take a risk on them gathering, knowing that I go to McDonald's twice too many times in a week,
You already take a risk with your TikTok usage.
I know.
A lot of people do.
And just our smart technology in general. I mean, how many of the pieces of every phone and the thing that basically carries our lives doesn't come from this country?
Well, it's funny you bring up TikTok. I think this is Trump's TikTok. Because remember at the end of his presidency, he was trying to ban TikTok. And they were trying to force the company to sell to, I believe, Microsoft or somebody to have an American controlling interest because of the fear of the information that they were gathering. And so that was a big thing that Trump was working on. And I'll selfishly, I'm glad it didn't happen. Because I find myself laughing at a lot of TikToks. My daughter sent me one this morning of this cat jumping into a ceiling fan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, he was fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, he was tough.
9 lives.
But it was funny. So I think that is Biden's drawing this line, in the whole thing is to protect America. This is what's going to be really interesting, too, is how much fear is used in the election campaigns, like the border. Like you can watch Trump will be all over the disaster at the border and the fear of that. And sadly, we were talking about this the other day, that college student in Georgia that was murdered, and turns out the guy was here illegally, came here in 2021 illegally from El Salvador or something like that. I forget where, Ecuador, I don't remember. But it's like that will be a story that you will hear a million times, probably out of Trump's campaign, going, had we had tighter border security, this girl would be alive. And if you're her parents, you're like, absolutely. If this guy had never come into this country illegally, their daughter would be alive. That's a tough pill to swallow if you're a parent. Like, I would be raging mad at what's happening at the border.
And that's why it's like a fantastic tool from like a campaign stand. It is interesting how you take these waves of 3 years of just like, oh, he's he's the president, and then like the big stuff shows up in that fourth year. As you go into the season. Yeah.
One of the people quoted on this article about the cars, though, says, so it doesn't take a lot of imagination to figure out how a foreign adversary like China, with access to all this sort of information at scale, could pose a serious risk to our national security and the privacy of citizens. I would hate to, I know I can be a negative Nelly, 100%, I get it, but I would hate to be on such a level that you are having to look out for everybody and protecting them from a foreign country that wants to destroy you. Look at the people that deal with terrorism. That is crazy. To every day wake up and know when you went to sleep you were working on a problem, you wake up, you're going back to the same problem that is not going to solve itself, and you're there trying to prevent it for people, and you would have to see the absolute worst in people. I don't know how you would trust anybody. And how you wouldn't be completely paranoid. You'd look side-eyed at everybody when that's what your job is to do. And I wonder, how long people, A, do that job, and B, how does it literally affect them personally? And when they step away from it, do they just be like, I'm done and I'm going to a place where I don't have to talk or deal with anybody after seeing the worst of the worst and having to fight it?
It's probably how cops feel.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. There's no way I could be an officer. No way.
I'm sure that they provide some kind of therapy or counseling.
Yeah, I bet they do,
I mean,
but how many guys take it is a whole nother ball game.
That's true.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Pride gets in the way.
Well, people lie to you. People don't like you. They don't trust you. They fight you physically. Like, I mean, you got a buddy that's a cop. I have a friend that is too, and I don't know how they do it. Like, and I don't know how. Yes, they're the ones that there's a bad altercation, things go south. I don't know how the ones that every day are being yelled at, spit at, cussed at, all kind of slurs at them, like, and they just have to take it. Like, I don't know how they do that. Like, well, I'm small, so I'd have to.
Yeah.
If I was big, I don't think I'd take it.
Well, and two, I used to watch this show not that long ago. It was about the booking system in jails.
Oh,
and people come in and they're like 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
And you have to be patient with this person, and this person is being belligerent and fighting. And you can't take your anger out on them because they have body cam footage. They have videos all around the hallways. And so you have to constantly check yourself. I think that would be hard.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I would be so tempted to cheap shot something. Like not looking, throw a bow.
Oh,
yeah. Like I couldn't do it.
Balance that idea of being able to physically take on something in a moment's notice and use actual force to help protect people or save people, do all this stuff, but then withhold it when somebody is, like you said, being just a total nightmare. Because my father-in-law was in a prison system, and he wrestled guys to the ground all the time.
Yeah,
what
a day to go to work. Like, can you imagine, Gavin, if that was your daily work? Like, I wonder who I'm going to fight today.
Yeah, I know. And especially if
and he's just laughing at you.
I didn't say anything.
I would be shredded in this if I had to come in and it's like, okay, I'm going to fight Betty. I'm going to fight Wally.
Yeah.
Phil's going to come down. I got to wrestle Phil.
Yeah, and like, I got to have my eyes on my back of my head today all day.
And some days you're like, I think I could take Betty, which I think I could.
Some days.
And then some days, again, it's going to be some 6'6" guy who you're like, you got to subdue that person. No.
Yeah, life's too short, man. I want to create other options for myself. But I do get if you're a big dude and maybe you were a guy that was rough and tough growing up and stuff too. Maybe you're like, yeah, this is a great career for me. This is what I can do. I remember talking to a Navy SEAL that came out of the SEALs and was just kind of lost. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, they trained me to kill people. Like, that's what I know how to do. He goes, I know how to bleed and fight. He's like, so what am I supposed to do? Work at Home Depot with that?
Go from there to being a H&M manager,
right?
Cashier at a Walmart.
Yeah, he's like, I get it. I'm like, that's why a lot of guys go into private security or they're contractors and stuff
police
like that. Because police officers, because that's what you know how to do. Yeah, there's times I wish I was big and I could exert my own form of justice on people that bother me. But I just have to be funny.
This would be a bad world.
Oh, it would be. Absolutely.
This world is made better by your height.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Do you think when you were in heaven and God was making you, he was like, let's not pour in too much height because if I give him that.
Oh, yeah. It'll be bad. It'll be bad for everyone.
They had
in his life.
first draft of you that was 6'2".
Yeah.
And then he kind of played out all the scenarios.
Where it would go, yeah.
He was like, this is not good.
He ran a modeling system and was like, oh, no. And you know what, too? Just to really help things out, and I'm going to make him short and ugly, and that's going to keep him in check. He'll be funny, but that's what he's going to be. He'll be moderately funny. He'll surround himself with people that he doesn't think really likes him all the time, and
he'll make himself laugh.
Yeah, yes. Lady Rock, what do you got?
I have great news
Yay!
for everyone who walks into the theater for magic.
No,
I love magic.
We all love the Nicole Kidman spot
don't.
That plays at AMC theaters.
We come to this place for magic.
Yes, we do.
No, I came to this place.
She speaks for us all.
Because the last place I thought you would ever be in, and again, is a theater. Okay, like your career's done, and I just
no.
Yes,
She's in plenty of.
I want her to be done after the whole AMC ads. No,
I want the choice of, and I guess you could come in late. I want the choice of seeing Nicole Kidman on the big screen. That doesn't give me a choice if I wanted to see all the trailers.
I would love if they'd had a voting system where at your seat there you could click for what you wanted to see prior to, and the most votes wins. She would get no votes. None.
Well, if I were there, though, I would move to every seat and vote for yes. I want yes.
Well, I was in a theater the other day, and it was actually decently busy. And there was a discernible groan when that came on, and it wasn't just me. I was so happy. The people behind me were like, "No, I'm
sure
like,
it wasn't
I
an
know."
echo?
I'm like, "I know, right? Yes, this is annoying, right? I'm not alone." So yeah, everyone around me was like, "Dang."
Okay, though the question being, again, I wish they just didn't have. Some places do a good job where they're just like I missed the roller coaster days at Regal.
Love
that was
that.
fun. If there was the Nicole Kidman replacement, because I just don't think she's the right fit for making me want to see a movie. But if
come on.
if Will Smith came
Another
out
bad example.
and
Beat somebody,
slapped somebody, and it was just like, we come to this theater.
Yeah. If it was funny, that would resonate with me more probably.
No.
But then
wish
you're
it
going to get
was.
tired of when you see it so many times. That's the problem. I see it so many times.
You're also an A-list member that sees more movies than the casual.
I know.
Maybe
moviegoer.
she's telling you should get a life. Is maybe what she's thinking.
I know why people get so mad at radio stations that listen all the time, and they're like, "You play the same 4 songs." Like, I get it because you listen a lot, and so I go a lot, so I understand I'm going to see it. But boy, I wish they would change it out or rotate it with something else.
And here,
been years.
you're not letting me finish.
Oh,
Here is the
sorry.
good news.
That is.
So AMC Theaters announced that they are going to put into rotation 3 new ads featuring Nicole Kidman.
No, Toby,
so
no.
you won't know which one you're getting.
Okay, well, that at least is a little better than just the same old, but still, let's just go a different direction. Let's have Ryan Reynolds do something funny.
This is what was surprising to me. In this article, it says that 60-second ad that drives you crazy.
It's only 60 seconds. It feels so much longer.
That it's been going for 3 years.
It has.
Yes. Oh, easily.
Oh, my goodness.
Easily.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot. And let's talk about her pantsuit for a minute.
I love
that
it.
pantsuit is
Stop it.
horrible.
No, it's not.
It is not flattering on her, and she is a beautiful woman.
Oh,
and
no.
that pantsuit, oh my goodness, I feel bad for her every time they show her walking up the stairs. I go, oh, you're gonna hate this. She must hate this because it makes her look hippie.
I love it.
You know, the
No.
initial contract, 'cause I'm just doing a little research on this. The initial contract for her commercial was set to end in August 2022.
That's what it should have done.
And so, but they extended her as the
No.
spokesperson.
Because
No.
people love it that much.
They don't.
Because honestly, I'm there for the magic.
No, none of us are.
We come to this place for magic.
Yes. Yes.
I
We
can't
are
tell.
heroes. Feel like the best of us.
I wish I could see.
I wonder
wish-
what the 3 new ones
'Cause
are going to
in here-
be.
They are.
What if in the new ones,
No.
she's like one of them? She's reenacting movies, like classic movies,
okay.
like she does a Casablanca
Okay,
one.
fine. That'd
Maybe
be
she
fun.
does a Top Gun one.
That'd be
A
fun.
Jurassic Park
I
one.
would
She's
be
running
down
from
for that.
Dinosaurs.
Does she seem like the type that would do that?
No, she does
No,
not.
she doesn't.
She
So
seems
then we would
sticky,
have
hiney.
So now she's going to do 3 serious ones.
Yeah.
So
they'll all be in that pantsuit in the same version.
what if they take the 60-second one and they just make it longer
Probably, yeah.
and they cut it into 30-second
Oh.
The
increments?
director's cut, like, no.
Yes.
It's interesting because they had this as it was set up to be a semi-campaign related production
Sure.
for the sake of getting more people back into the theater.
Theaters.
And
Yeah.
it worked.
This is in 2021, so we're
Right.
talking COVID. They spent $25 million on
On that?
this. And I can't tell if that means that alone or if they ran other versions across other platforms, but $25 million. And I can't tell how
For
much she got paid. That's what I'm trying to find. Like, I want to know.
TJ Maxx pantsuit. And
That
again,
probably cost $1 million.
It's supposed to look wealthy, and it doesn't. Like I don't even remember if the seams match.
Oh, come on.
But it's atrocious. And $25 million on that would be ludicrous. Like they rented a theater.
Yep.
You hire a camera crew. You shoot it. You light it.
You
hair,
pay
makeup,
Nicole
all that.
Kidman to-
Right. That's where the lion's share is probably. I wonder how much they paid her. They give her like
That's what
$5 million.
I wish I could figure this out.
Because if you do a movie, you make 10 to 20 million. So I mean, would they
She's
pay
got
her
to
$1
still be
million?
making. You'd think she might still be making money because it's been going for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see, and I'm still not
I
seeing.
know.
But there's even a whole article about the impact that it's had. That's amazing.
Nicole
Yes, it
Kidman's
makes
AMC.
people mad at the
Possible
movies.
sequel?
A sequel.
Kidman's commercial was initially
gosh.
set to run until August 2022 for the duration of
That's
her
right.
one-year contract. In 2022, AMC CEO announced the Kidman would be signed as spokesperson for another year.
So that was back in 22. Yeah.
Later the same month, Billy Ray, which I guess is, I'm not sure,
Billy Ray?
stated that he had written a script for a follow-up describing it as taking a very different approach that is a little bit of a wink to the one we've already done.
Oh, that is so great. I
I'm
love
so
that.
excited.
A nod to the original. Ugh.
I am, and he hopes that it will live up to the audience's expectation.
I seriously doubt that.
One article called it a, what did they call it? I just wanted to say it out loud because it was funny.
A breath of fresh air.
It was.
I agree.
This ad was just as beloved and divisive as ever.
Yes.
I think divisive.
More beloved than anything.
I'd love to meet the serious people who love this one.
Yeah, I've never
know.
met anybody.
I need the people that love Nicole Kidman so much to
because
tell me why
they
are.
And it was so
if
was
she breathed
so
fire
well
after
known as being annoying
Yeah.
that SNL did a skit on it.
Right.
Did they?
It
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh.
funny, but
Oh,
yeah,
Neither
they
is her
did.
thing. I can see myself though when they run the new one cheering just because it's new. I'll be like, "Thank you, Lord, thank you." That the other one, I don't have to watch it. I don't even care if the new one's better, worse. I don't care. It's just different, and that'll be nice.
I just
And
wish it
if
was a
it's not the
different
pantsuit,
actress.
the pantsuit just
Oh,
bothers me.
bring more of the pants.
What if she shows up in like sweats and a hoodie?
Fine,
Yes.
She's like, this is what normal people look like when they go to movies.
that's great. I love it. I love it.
Because
Just
I've never gone to movies in heels before.
no, or a pantsuit. So there you go.
someday.
Pantsuit really bothers.
It has me. It has a hold of me for some reason.
This is the,
I think I hate it for her because it just is not
You
a good
do?
look. Yeah, not
This
a
is
good
the
look.
Project Runway diva in you
Absolutely.
calling out
Absolutely.
pantsuit.
Yeah, and it's I know it's an expensive pantsuit. There's no way, but it looks cheap to me. The fabric actually looks cheap to me, but I guarantee you it's a very expensive pantsuit.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Why have I spent so much time saying I've never said
don't know.
pantsuit this much in my life? Is that what we're calling the Aftercast today? Is pantsuit?
Pantsuit.
Pantsuit. All right, what do you got for birthdays?
I've got one. Tyler. He
Tyler.
said, actually, I don't have a birthday shout out, but I do have a question. So the question is, what is the most embarrassing album you had as a kid growing up? He said, I had a Dream Street CD, which is a boy band that included Jesse McCartney, Chris Trousdale, Frankie Galazzo, Gregory Raposo, and Matt Ballinger.
Wow. See, now, none of the albums I had growing up I would have been embarrassed by.
None?
No, because I mean, I had U2 and Van Halen, and I tried to have like what I thought was good music. Now I know people would look at that and debate if that was good music or not, but it stood. It wasn't anything cringy at the time, other than Poison. Poison was that album. You're like, that's kind of weird. Them all dressed like in it's
is
Guns
that-
N' Roses.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I swear that's Poison.
No, it's not. Don't. No.
You gotta go and jump.
That's Van Halen.
Go ahead and jump.
Yeah, that's Van Halen. But yeah, Poison because they
Because
were all.
TMI.
Yep.
Dynamite.
Might. Yep, that's
TNT.
AC/DC.
And
Yep.
I will not fight.
Yep, that's the one.
And win the. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then I think the most embarrassing album though that I did have would have probably have been
Celine Dion.
no, the Surf Punks, because people definitely
sounding.
did not get the Surf Punks. Like you had to be in the surf culture, but it was great. Shoulder hopper, don't you drop in on me? Like it's all surf terms.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, I've gotten a few of those. Like I found them on like iTunes and stuff, and that it didn't
were
stand. Didn't stand the test of time.
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, you had like your dad had good taste in music.
Yeah, and I would say most of mine were great. I did have the best of Celine Dion, and I still stand by it to this
Oh,
day.
she's amazing.
I would say the most embarrassing for me, though, was the NSYNC albums.
Yes.
I learned to drive with the first album,
Nice.
and
It's pretty cool.
I wish that hadn't been. If I could go back, I would change that. I wouldn't make it NSYNC. And I wouldn't like Lance Bass.
Yeah, all of those are good decisions.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah, but you know what? You don't know. You don't know what you don't know when you're a kid, and everyone else is liking it, and it was so big. Like when people sell records now, it's not even remotely close to what it was back then. Like back then, the whole album, not just the single, the album would go gold or platinum in a matter of days. So they would sell over 1 million albums in days. And I mean, the money was huge.
Well, these days, I'm sure they don't even track like album
They do.
sales. No, as much as
Streams,
it streams.
yeah.
Like streaming platform.
Streams and
statistics.
listens, all of that is the biggest thing right now, because it's so immediate, but it definitely, music is not like it used to be. When an album came out, other than Taylor Swift, because she still is a marketing machine, you knew about it everywhere. When NSYNC was coming out with an album, everyone was talking about it, And so I get why you got caught up in that, for sure.
I wish I hadn't.
Gavin, what about you?
Man, I was trying to look it up because I'm proud of most of the things that I had growing up. But then I remember when I had gotten to high school, I bought this album by The Wanted, and it's called something. And I can't remember. It might have been their initial.
Is it a Christian band?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a boy. It was kind of another boy
band.
Another boy band?
But
oh, no.
It was one
I'm
that,
looking it up.
It was one that they had this big song called Glad You Came. I'm glad you came.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I
that?
know that. I know that song.
But
yeah.
the only reason I got that album was that I got it for this girl.
Yeah,
that I
of
liked.
course.
So
It
I was
always
dating her.
comes back to a girl.
It has
That's
to.
what we do.
That's what music is. You build the mixtape for her.
Yeah,
And
that-
I got this one for her because I'm like, oh, she likes this. And then I think maybe into it for a minute just because, again, I wanted to impress her.
Yeah. Every decision I made in high school somehow could be connected to a girl.
100%.
Like that, yeah. I guess that's where guys and
passions.
girls, but then girls are guy crazy too, But like, I mean, what you wear to the football game, where you sit at the football game. Are you going to go out to Dino's Pizza after the football game? And like everything you did was just trying to impress some girl. A car you bought, I mean, crazy.
For me, the hard part was that like I gave that to her, and then eventually we broke up, and then there was the summer that we were broken up for, and then we got back to school in August, and she came up with the album, and she was like, "Do you want this back?"
Oh no! How old were you?
16.
Oh,
Let's go with 16.
And you
16
said,
years old.
As you were crying.
I was like,
yes.
no, I did the breaking up with that one.
Okay.
I did. It was the only time I ever broke up with
Why'd you
a
break
girl.
up with her?
Because she
She didn't like you anymore?
No, she flirted with other dudes.
That
didn't fly with
She
your
didn't
homeboy.
like you anymore.
got you.
Didn't like me anymore. yeah. But
Yeah,
like I was
yeah.
like, I gotta end this. And I was breaking up with her. It's funny because her brother and sister were there. And her brother pulled me aside at one point. Little brother. He was like, "You gonna hurt my sister? How do you how can you tell, man?"
Scared you.
in high school, yeah. Like
I did tell her to keep the album because I'd moved on.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I
you're
get it.
not glad she came.
I was no. I just she can bye.
I get it.
That's
Like
in the
it's
past.
funny
It's in the
because
past.
I never
Yes.
I never had to have conversations with any potential suitors for my sisters because we're like, oh, good, you like her, fine.
Are you sure you don't?
Yeah,
Please date
let me
her.
talk you out of this. She's a handful, but I will have that. What's that Rodney Atkins song? "Cleaning My Gun." I love that song. Come on in, son. Sit right down. Tell me about yourself. So you like my daughter? Now, do you, son? Think she's something else?
Do
But
you ever wish you had gotten to have like a moment where you like threatened a boy that pursued?
yeah,
because
because my daughter didn't really date much in high
Sure.
school.
Like you missed your clean my gun.
Yeah.
Moment.
It's funny because as I think about it now, because my daughter's in like a really serious relationship with her boyfriend now, and my gut is they will probably end up getting married, and I will have a super honest conversation with him, because she's told him too, like, before you ask me, you have to ask my dad permission. And that's just like tradition and respect. Because I'm like, look, you're a grown man, you can do what you're going to do. But I think for me, it will be a moment to not put the fear of God in him of me, but to advise
Because
him.
there's no such thing.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm good shot. But like
finger guns.
Yes.
I don't know. I've seen your target that you hang
My
up
target's pretty good
in the studio.
No, but to basically advise him about the seriousness of this and what marriage really is, and be super sure, that this is what you want to do and it's not emotions, and give him some advice from what I have gleaned over the years, and hopefully he'll respond well with that, and then because my goal wouldn't be like to, make it awkward or make him fear, because I don't want him to ever fear coming to me with anything, especially if there's a problem. I want to know so I can help,
It's so sad that you have more respect for Haley's possible husband than your hypothetical son.
Poor
who's my hypothetical son?
Wow.
Yeah.
His name is Hayden.
That's right, Hayden. That's right. It's easy to forget someone that's dead to you.
Oh my gosh! I was reading through some of what the potty said on our Facebook group.
Oh, did you post about Hayden?
Yes. Well, no, I didn't.
Oh,
but
they
people
just
are.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
their
so
own
funny.
Of their own accord. I like
love
this.
it. Thank you, potties. I
So
love you.
someone said, Jill said, today's Aftercast, I'm still laughing. Hypothetical Hayden, so funny. This made my day. Ted said, I just put a prayer request on the prayer wall for hypothetical Hayden.
No way.
And then Jer
funny.
said something like, Pastor Chad, when he checks the prayer wall, and it's a gif of John Travolta being like,
Yeah.
Yes. Who? What's going on?
That's funny.
No one's going to know who hypothetical Hayden is, but honestly, thank you for praying for him because the Lord knows.
Marty was here yesterday, my wife, and we were talking about hypothetical Hayden, because I've told her a little bit about Hayden, but I haven't gone into the whole
She doesn't know Hayden
depth of it.
like
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah, but then we got into it where Betty started doing the exact same thing she does here on the show. And then I'm like, yeah, he's dead to me. Like Marty's like, what? I'm like, he would be. I'm sorry. This is the way it
Well,
goes.
even too, I said Hayden is living in a homeless shelter and he's dealing with lice. And Marty said, oh, he's got to get washed off first.
Exactly. See?
I was
Marty
like,
knows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
You think I'm horrible.
I was like, nobody really wants to own Hayden. No one wants to say that they are his illegitimate parent.
Yeah.
And that's so sad to me. Hayden, if you're listening,
Yeah.
we love you.
Yeah.
We see you and we value you.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe your family doesn't, but we do.
Because Marty was here. I'm like, honestly, Pants, I would have asked for a paternity test.
Well, also too, Jer was talking about Hayden, hypothetical Hayden, and Ted said that Hayden should get a birthday shout out on February 30th.
Is that really? Are they tracked? Oh, that's funny. It's like that.
That's
It's
awesome.
like that Parks and Rec thing. where
Oh.
I scheduled all your meetings for February 29th.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so good.
yes.
It
And
is
yep,
It is.
February 29th.
I
Bless.
I
The
love the potties. Like, nicely done, y'all. That's funny. All right, well, that's gonna have to do it for our Aftercast. And thanks for being a potty.
We love you, Hayden.
So we got our friend Andy Irwin on the show with us, and he's the guy behind the movie I Can Only Imagine. And now he has a new movie out called Ordinary Angels, starring Hilary Swank, and she is great, by the way. And her passion for this film really comes through in her character, who's like this broken mess, but God still uses her to accomplish a miracle in the life of a desperate single father whose daughter is in need of a liver transplant. True story, by the way. Now, the one thing I love about you, Andy, is that your movies are not preachy. I would put this somewhere like you got Blindside at one end. Yeah. And you've got War Room at the other. You guys are ahead of Blindside on the faith, but way under War Room, But it's done in a way that's like accessible and not off-putting, and it's not heavy-handed.
I think it preaches as good as any of the films that we've done.
Because I know your heart is not to water down the gospel.
No. Our heart is to be strategic. This one was really about trying to understand this everyman kind of blue-collar guy that had a relationship with God but was just burnt out.
Yeah.
And he felt like he had lost faith in the church and lost faith in God really seeing him and being there for him. So it's kind of that skeptic that's outside the church walls that we want to reach.
Well, you do a great job of that, and it reached into my chest and punched me in the heart in the first 3 minutes. It's a great movie, and it will be in theaters February 23rd, and you can actually get tickets now at ordinaryangels.movie.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.